The secret power of elegant women. Ladies and gentlemen, when we think of elegance, what comes to mind? Often we imagine someone dressed impeccably, poised and graceful. But elegance is much more than the clothes we wear or the way we carry ourselves in a room. It's an internal force, a quiet yet profound power that speaks volumes without saying a word. Today, I want to share with you the secret power of elegant women, not the kind of elegance defined by a superficial image, but the kind of elegance that has the ability to change the world. At the heart of true elegance lies one simple truth: the power of purpose. Elegant women are not defined by what they own or how they appear to others. Their elegance comes from their sense of purpose, a clarity in their identity that shines through every action they take, every word they speak, and every relationship they nurture. True elegance is not about the clothes we wear or the outward appearance we project. It is a quality that emerges from within, a reflection of a person's inner strength, values, and most importantly, a clear sense of purpose. At the core of every truly elegant woman lies the power of purpose. This is the driving force behind every decision she makes, every action she takes, and every relationship she nurtures. When someone is anchored in their purpose, they become more than just a presence in the room. They become a force, a quiet yet profound power that reverberates through everything they do. A woman with a strong sense of purpose knows exactly what she stands for. She understands why she does what she does, and this clarity of vision shapes her life in a way that makes everything she does meaningful. She is not easily swayed by external pressures or distractions because she is firmly rooted in her why. This understanding of purpose serves as her North Star, guiding her through moments of doubt, adversity, or confusion. It gives her the courage to face challenges head on and the resilience to overcome obstacles without losing sight of what truly matters. Having a clear purpose is especially important in a world that often places value on superficial achievements or the opinions of others. In many cases, people find themselves chasing external validation, whether through status, wealth, or recognition. But an elegant woman driven by her purpose does not seek approval from the world around her. Instead, she derives strength from within, from knowing that she is doing what she was meant to do. Her sense of self-worth comes not from how others perceive her, but from the knowledge that her actions align with her deeper values and her greater goals. This sense of purpose also empowers her to make decisions with confidence. When faced with difficult choices, an elegant woman doesn't hesitate or second-guess herself. She draws on her inner clarity, using her purpose as a guide to steer her in the right direction. Whether it's making a career decision, choosing who to invest her time with, or deciding how to handle a personal challenge, she trusts herself because she knows her why. This self-trust is crucial. It enables her to remain steady in the face of uncertainty and not be swayed by fear or doubt. The power of purpose also brings with it an incredible sense of resilience. Life is full of setbacks and no one is immune to hardship. But a woman with purpose is equipped to deal with these challenges in a way that others might not be. When things don't go as planned, she doesn't crumble under pressure. Instead, she faces each setback with the understanding that it is simply part of the journey. She knows that every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to strengthen her resolve. Her purpose helps her navigate through difficult times with grace, teaching her that failure is not the end, but merely a detour on the path towards something greater. This inner strength also allows her to approach life with a sense of peace and balance. When you are rooted in your purpose, there is less room for the noise of the world to affect you. You become less concerned with competing against others and more focused on competing against yourself, striving to be the best version of who you are. This peace comes from knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, doing what you need to do, even if the world around you seems chaotic or unpredictable. Moreover, a woman with purpose naturally attracts others who are drawn to her authenticity. There is an undeniable magnetism in someone who knows who they are and is unapologetic about it. This doesn't mean she is arrogant or self-centered. Rather, it means that she has a quiet confidence that is based on the understanding that her value does not depend on anyone else's approval. People are often drawn to her because they can sense that she is real, genuine, and unwavering in her beliefs. Her sense of purpose gives her the power to inspire others to find their own purpose and live authentically. In conclusion, the secret power of elegant women lies in their purpose. This clarity of vision not only guides their decisions and actions, but also gives them the strength to overcome challenges and face the world with confidence and grace. When you have a purpose that is firmly rooted in your values and passions, it transforms you from simply existing to living with intention. It allows you to move through the world with quiet power, knowing that your purpose is not only shaping your own life, but also impacting those around you. Elegance is often perceived as something superficial, an outer display of grace, style, or beauty. But true elegance is far deeper, and one of the most defining characteristics of an elegant woman is her ability to influence without authority. This subtle power of influence is not about commanding attention or exerting control, but rather about inspiring and leading through actions, values, and the way she interacts with others. It's about creating an environment where trust is fostered and people are drawn to her because of her authentic presence and natural leadership. An elegant woman knows that influence doesn't require a loud voice or commanding presence. In fact, it's often the opposite. It is in the quiet moments, in the gestures that go unnoticed, and in the steady presence she maintains in every situation that her influence truly shines. She leads by example, not by force, and her influence stems from her ability to stay true to her values, consistently demonstrating them in her actions. Whether it's the way she handles challenges, makes decisions, or interacts with others, her behavior serves as a model for how to navigate the world with integrity and purpose. This quiet leadership is a powerful tool because it doesn't seek to dominate or control. Instead, it creates a space where others feel comfortable enough to voice their opinions, collaborate freely, and bring their best selves to the table. A woman with this kind of influence doesn't need to assert her dominance over others. She empowers them to shine in their own right. Her influence is built on mutual respect, not hierarchy, and this respect fosters an environment of creativity and innovation. People gravitate towards her because they feel seen, heard, and valued, not because she has demanded it, but because she has earned it through her actions. Another key aspect of this power of influence is empathy. An elegant woman understands that leadership is not just about directing others, but about understanding and relating to them. She listens actively, offering support and insight when needed, but never imposing her views or ideas on others. Instead, she creates space for diverse opinions, allowing for the exchange of ideas that leads to collective growth. This approach not only strengthens her relationships, but also cultivates an atmosphere of trust where others feel safe to express themselves without fear of judgment. Influence without authority also requires a deep sense of emotional intelligence. An elegant woman knows how to read a room, to sense the needs and emotions of those around her, and to respond accordingly. She is not driven by ego or self-interest, but by a genuine desire to connect with others and help them grow. This emotional awareness allows her to navigate complex social dynamics with grace, whether she's diffusing a tense situation, offering words of encouragement, or simply being a quiet presence of support. Furthermore, this form of influence is not about trying to please everyone or avoid conflict. Instead, it's about standing firm in one's beliefs while remaining open to feedback and collaboration. An elegant woman does not shy away from difficult conversations or disagreements, but approaches them with the understanding that disagreement does not equal disrespect. She handles conflict with a level of diplomacy and maturity that allows for growth and resolution without escalating the situation or losing her composure. At the core of this power of influence without authority is the ability to inspire trust. Trust is the foundation of any successful relationship, and an elegant woman builds trust by being consistent in her actions, transparent in her communication, and authentic in her interactions. People trust her because they know that her intentions are pure, that her word is her bond, and that she genuinely cares about their well-being. This trust allows her to lead, even in situations where she may not have formal authority, because those around her believe in her ability to guide them toward a common goal. The beauty of influence without authority lies in its sustainability. Unlike traditional power, which can be fleeting and dependent on external factors, influence built on trust and respect is enduring. It transcends titles, positions, and formalities. An elegant woman can influence not just in the workplace or in leadership roles, but in everyday interactions with friends, family, and even strangers. Her quiet leadership makes her a constant source of inspiration as she demonstrates that true power comes not from controlling others, but from empowering them to be the best version of themselves. In conclusion, the secret power of elegant women lies in their ability to influence without authority. It is a power that doesn't seek to dominate, but to inspire, to empower, and to create a space where others can thrive. Through empathy, emotional intelligence, and a consistent demonstration of values, an elegant woman can lead in ways that are both impactful and lasting. This form of influence is not about control, it's about connection, trust, and the quiet strength that comes from being a force for good in the world. Grace under pressure is one of the most remarkable qualities that an elegant woman can possess. In a world where stress and adversity seem ever present, the ability to maintain composure, stay grounded, and act with poise is a powerful asset. Elegant women show us that true strength is not always about reacting impulsively to challenges, but rather about approaching life's difficulties with a calm and steady hand. It's about choosing how to respond rather than being controlled by the circumstances around you. This ability to remain graceful under pressure is not born out of perfection or a lack of emotion. It is a conscious decision to face difficulties with dignity and resilience. This grace under pressure is not about suppressing emotions or pretending that everything is fine. It's about understanding that emotions are natural and it's okay to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or anxious. However, an elegant woman understands that these emotions are temporary and she does not allow them to dictate her actions. She acknowledges her feelings without letting them control her. This ability to regulate emotions and keep a clear head in difficult times is a hallmark of emotional intelligence, a quality that is often associated with elegance. By taking a step back and managing her emotions, she can respond to situations in a way that is productive and positive. An elegant woman knows that staying calm in moments of stress can create a ripple effect in her surroundings. When she remains poised in difficult situations, she not only protects her own well-being, but also sets the tone for others. People look to her for guidance in times of uncertainty, and her ability to remain steady can help others feel more secure and confident. In this way, her grace under pressure becomes a source of strength, not just for herself, but for those around her. It fosters an atmosphere where others feel supported, knowing that no matter how intense the pressure may be, they can rely on her calm presence to help navigate the storm. Furthermore, grace under pressure involves the ability to make decisions quickly without rushing into them. In high-pressure situations, there can be a temptation to act hastily, to rush toward a solution in order to alleviate the discomfort of the moment. However, an elegant woman understands that the best decisions are often those made after careful consideration. She does not succumb to the pressure of needing immediate answers. Instead, she takes the time to assess the situation, gather the necessary information, and evaluate the consequences of her actions. This approach allows her to make thoughtful, informed decisions that not only resolve the immediate issue, but also contribute to long-term success. One of the most important aspects of grace under pressure is resilience, the ability to bounce back after setbacks. Life inevitably presents challenges, but an elegant woman approaches these challenges with the understanding that setbacks are not failures. Rather, they are opportunities for growth and learning. When she encounters a setback, she doesn't give up or dwell on the negative aspects. Instead, she views the challenge as a stepping stone, an experience that will help her become stronger, more capable, and better prepared for whatever comes next. This resilience is a key component of her elegance as it allows her to maintain a positive outlook even in the face of adversity. This quality of resilience is often what sets elegant women apart from others. While many people may become discouraged or defeated by setbacks, an elegant woman faces them with a mindset of determination and perseverance. She understands that life is full of ups and downs, and it is her ability to navigate those fluctuations with grace that defines her character. Her resilience inspires those around her to adopt a similar mindset, showing them that setbacks are not the end of the road, but rather a natural part of the journey. Ultimately, grace under pressure is a manifestation of inner strength. It is a sign of emotional maturity and self-awareness. An elegant woman doesn't allow external circumstances to dictate her mood or behavior. Instead, she chooses how to respond. Her ability to remain calm, composed, and thoughtful in challenging situations reflects her deep understanding of herself and her purpose. This grace does not come from avoiding difficulties or pretending that challenges don't exist. It comes from the knowledge that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we have the power to control how we respond. In conclusion, grace under pressure is one of the most compelling aspects of an elegant woman's strength. It is a reflection of emotional intelligence, resilience, and self-control. By remaining composed in the face of adversity, she not only protects herself, but also becomes a source of stability and inspiration for others. Her ability to navigate challenges with poise and confidence teaches those around her that true strength is not about reacting impulsively, but about responding thoughtfully and gracefully. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, her grace becomes a beacon of calm, showing us all the power of staying steady in the storm. Vulnerability is often viewed as a weakness in a world that prizes strength, resilience, and self-reliance. Yet, for an elegant woman, vulnerability is one of her greatest sources of power. It is the ability to show up authentically, to express her true emotions, and to embrace imperfections that makes her not only relatable, but also incredibly strong. This strength does not come from hiding her true self or pretending to be something she is not. Instead, it comes from having the courage to be real, to be honest, and to allow herself to be seen in her entirety. Vulnerability, in this context, becomes an essential part of her elegance, as it deepens her connections with others, fosters trust, and ultimately enhances her capacity to lead and inspire. When an elegant woman embraces vulnerability, she demonstrates an incredible amount of emotional intelligence. She understands that it's okay to not have all the answers, to not always be in control, and to sometimes feel overwhelmed. By allowing herself to experience and express these feelings, she invites others to do the same. This openness encourages authentic connections where people can show up as their true selves without fear of judgment. Rather than creating an environment of distance or pretense, her vulnerability builds a space where people feel safe, understood, and supported. It is important to note that vulnerability is not synonymous with weakness. In fact, it requires a great deal of strength to expose one's inner thoughts, fears, and desires to others. It takes courage to admit when things aren't going well, when one is struggling, or when one doesn't have it all figured out. But this openness creates a sense of authenticity that is magnetic. People are drawn to authenticity because it provides a sense of comfort and relatability. When a woman allows herself to be vulnerable, she shows that it is not only okay to be imperfect, but that it is these very imperfections that make us human and worthy of connection. Moreover, vulnerability has the power to break down walls and bridge gaps. In relationships, whether personal or professional, it is easy to become guarded, to put on a facade of strength and invulnerability. But this creates distance between people, and it can inhibit true intimacy and collaboration. When an elegant woman allows herself to be vulnerable, she shows others that it's safe to let down their guard and be open. This creates a more intimate, trust-based dynamic where collaboration and understanding can flourish. She becomes not just a leader, but a beacon of trust, someone who fosters authentic relationships that are grounded in mutual respect and understanding. Vulnerability also allows for deeper self-reflection. By acknowledging her own fears, mistakes, and insecurities, an elegant woman can learn from them and grow. She does not see vulnerability as something to hide or overcome, but as an opportunity for personal development. In fact, her openness to vulnerability often enables her to be more empathetic and compassionate toward others. She understands that everyone has their own struggles and that being able to empathize with those struggles fosters connection. This ability to empathize makes her a more effective leader, as she can guide others through their challenges with understanding and support. Furthermore, vulnerability in an elegant woman also invites others to embrace their own vulnerabilities. When she shows that she is not afraid to be vulnerable, others feel empowered to do the same. This creates a culture of openness where people are not afraid to ask for help, admit their mistakes, or share their personal challenges. It breaks down the unrealistic expectations of perfection that often dominate our interactions and creates an environment where growth, support, and collaboration can thrive. This openness is not just valuable in personal relationships, but in professional environments as well. It encourages innovation as people feel more comfortable sharing their ideas, taking risks, and offering feedback without fear of failure or criticism. In the workplace, vulnerability allows for more authentic leadership. An elegant woman who is not afraid to show her vulnerability can create a sense of trust and loyalty within her team. She is not pretending to have all the answers, but instead encourages an environment where everyone's voice is heard and valued. This leads to better problem solving, greater creativity, and a more cohesive team. Her vulnerability becomes a strength because it fosters transparency and encourages others to contribute their own ideas and insights, knowing that they will be respected and valued for their input. Another dimension of vulnerability is its connection to resilience. Being vulnerable does not mean being fragile or easily broken. In fact, embracing vulnerability makes a person more resilient because they are not afraid of facing difficult emotions or challenging situations. An elegant woman understands that vulnerability and resilience are not mutually exclusive. When she embraces vulnerability, she is better able to cope with adversity and bounce back from setbacks. She does not allow failure to define her. Instead, she views it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Vulnerability, then, is not a sign of weakness, but an indicator of strength, courage, and the ability to adapt and evolve. In conclusion, the quiet strength that comes from vulnerability is one of the most powerful aspects of an elegant woman's character. By embracing her true self, showing up authentically, and allowing herself to be vulnerable, she fosters trust, creates deeper connections, and builds resilience. Her vulnerability is not a weakness, but a profound source of strength, enabling her to lead with empathy, inspire others to embrace their own vulnerability, and ultimately create a more authentic, supportive, and empowering environment for all. In a world that often values perfection and invulnerability, an elegant woman's willingness to be open and real is a rare and invaluable gift.